Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming in. I am Sue Barker. I am here with Dr. Peter Neptune, and we are coming to you live from the Center of Excellence at the National Wellness Centers and the Eli Weight Loss Clinic. Yes, it's a mouthful, but I know you will get it. We are here this evening because we are launching our series, a brand new series, which we expect you to join us weekly every Wednesday evening from 5 to 7. And that series is about Caribbean lifestyle. You know, in the Caribbean, we eat what we want. We have a different culture. We do what we want. And we don't pay attention until we get the warning signs. So we are launching this series based on the lifestyle to give you some guidance before it is too late. We have lifestyle illnesses such as diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, hypertension, high cholesterol. All these things lead to Alzheimer's and other related lifestyle diseases. Now, in our discussions going forward, we want you to know that the information that you will be getting is generalized information. It is going to help to guide you, help you to understand if you need to take that next step. And that next step is going to bring you into our offices to meet with Dr. Neptune and other professionals to have a personalized session that is curtailed especially for you, because you know everybody is unique. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's need is different. So we will invite you to come into our offices. You'll get the information as to where we're located all over Trinidad. You'll get that at the end of the podcast. But know that you can also have online and in-person sessions. So I am your host for today, Sue Barker. Many of you will know me as Sue Barker, and I am here with Dr. Peter Neptune. Dr. Neptune is our star on this podcast, and he is a diabetic care specialist, he's a nutritionist, and he's also a weight loss coach. Dr. Neptune has more than 10 years experience in diabetic research and care, having pursued his MBA and PhD in diabetic research at the University of the West Indies. He has also pursued an advanced diploma in diabetic care from Harvard Medical School. Let me introduce you to our esteemed Dr. Peter Neptune. You want to say hi?
Thank you very much, Susan. I call her Sue.
Yeah.
The main gist of this series really is to get you to build awareness of the dangers of our lifestyle. In this series, you'll also not hear us say big words like mitochondria and ATP, and all of those big words they use trying to describe how diabetes affect your life and at a cellular level. I'm going to use normal language that an average person can understand, because that is how we need to reach people at this stage.
Right.
You cannot talk down to people, you have to talk at their same level. Not all of us have been exposed to the research and the vocabulary related to diabetic care. And my job is to get you more in tune with it at the grassroots level, because it's at the grassroots is where this is really making an impact in people's lives.
Yeah.
It is really people who have no choice but to buy these bad foods, and they are getting sick doing it. And what we really need is to get people to be aware and educated about how to apply the foods to their lives so they can have a longer, healthier life.
Okay. So, getting directly into the theme, is diabetes a death sentence? We're going to ask Dr. Neptune to explain to you guys what is diabetes and how do you get it?
Diabetes is the series of symptoms related to an extended period of eating foods that are high carbs and high sugar. Now, sugar is different from anything you will eat. When you eat oily foods or so, your body will use the nutrition it needs from the oily foods, and when whatever it doesn't need, you expel it, you excrete it. But sugar is different. As long as you eat sugar, sugar goes into your body and it stays inside of you. Your body is going to use the nutrition from the sugar and the energy from the sugar, but whatever it doesn't need, it converts into fat and stores it away. Now, you become diabetic when over many years you've been eating this way, and your body is able to keep up with it, with the amount of food and the amount of sugar and the amount of carbs that you're eating. But it comes a point where your organs are unable to keep up with what you're doing. Now, as long as you are healthy, you will continue to gain weight because you will be eating sugar, and as you eat the sugar, whatever your body needs, it uses. Whatever extra, it converts it into fat. So as long as you are healthy, you're going to get fatter and fatter. And many people will notice that one of the first symptoms of diabetes is that you start to lose weight. But that is when your organs are unable to keep up with the amount of sugar you're eating. And unable to convert the sugar into fat so that sugar stays back in your blood and your blood sugar starts to go up. So you lose weight and your blood sugar starts to go up, and those are the initial signs of diabetes. And it continues to get worse after that. If you are diabetic, it affects the fine veins in your body and it affects your circulation. There are cells in your body that doesn't like the sugar, and they start to die. And when they start to die, it triggers a cascade of events inside your body that encourages inflammation. And all of these things put together leads to these symptoms called diabetes. And that includes, additional symptoms include tiredness, peeing, or several times you don't have to pee during the night, inflammation on swollen ankles. All of these things is your body's response trying to deal with the extra sugar that you're eating. Now, the problem we have is that nobody tells you what sugar is. So you'll be eating all of these foods and not knowing that you're eating food that is getting you sick. And there's nobody there to direct you and tell you, no, you ought not to be eating this. Because we get health care and food advice from marketing people. We don't get it from healthcare people. And as long as you are getting dietary advice from marketing people, they don't care. They are only interested in selling their product. And as long as their product is being sold, well then, really and truly, you are at risk of becoming diabetic.
So tell me, who you think is, or who would you say is most at risk of developing this type of disease?
The people mostly at risk are people who they don't have options about what they're going to eat. The second set of people from our research we are seeing is people who are really deeply into their culture and into the Caribbean way of eating and the Caribbean lifestyle.
The cuisine, the doubles and the roti and things.
Yes. Those are the people mostly at risk because you have to look at the history of our Caribbean people. We are the descendants of slaves and indentured laborers. The food you gave a slave to cut cane 18 hours a day. It's rice, flour, and potatoes.
So give them the energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we know how to cook those foods really well. The world come to get our doubles, they come to get our roti, they come to get our fried rice, they come to get our bhaji rice and pilau and things like that. And those are foods we can cook very, very well because we have 500 years of experience cooking it. And as long as you continue to eat like that, you're going to be at risk. And the problem is that this is being encouraged by the food industry.
Yeah.
We are always being told, for example, that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That is entirely untrue. As long as you're eating breakfast every day, you will be sluggish. You will notice that teenagers, for example, they don't eat breakfast. You have to force a teenager to eat breakfast because they're not hungry.
Energetic.
Yes, and they never have a shortage of energy. If you give a teenager or a child breakfast every morning, when they go to class, they're sluggish and they're sleepy. Because their body now is focusing on digesting that food you just give them. And it doesn't have enough free resources now for them to think, for them to be alert at school. They want to sleep on themselves.
Yeah.
Especially if the food you're giving them is cereals and cornflakes and bread and roti. Because those are high sugar foods and their blood sugar will go up and your body now has to step in and act to bring down their sugar into manageable levels. So a lot of pressure is put on your body to get those things, to deal with the sugar. And as a result of that, everybody loses. The way we're supposed to live and eat, we should have learned these things in secondary school or in primary school, in home economics school.
Yeah.
The next generation of diabetics are being made because we are still getting the food pyramid and being told that that is what you're supposed to eat.
Yeah.
You know, starches and staples supposed to be the biggest thing on your plate. If you eat like that, you will be diabetic.
The rice and the macaroni pie,
Yes.
and the potato salad, and
The world doesn't eat like that.
Yeah.
But that is how Caribbean people eat. And as long as you continue eating like that, you're going to become diabetic.
Yeah. And that's why I guess that's why they call it a lifestyle disease, because we grow up, you know, our parents, it has been inculcated in us that that's the way to go. You have your Sunday food with your callaloo, your macaroni pie, your potato salad, you know, and sometimes you get sweet potato and thing on the side as well.
And that's the interesting thing about it. We all agree, doctors, nurses, healthcare providers, everybody agrees it's a lifestyle disease.
Yeah.
But when you go to your GP, nobody talks to you about your lifestyle. They do all the tests, they look at all the test results, and then they prescribe medication for you.
Yeah.
If it's a lifestyle disease, you have to address your lifestyle. And medication ought to be the last thing in your arsenal of tools to deal with it.
So why would you say they give you medication though?
Because it's easy.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
helps you to manage the disease, not cure it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you take medication for blood pressure, you take medication for high blood sugar, you will get good numbers, but you're not getting better.
So
Nobody gets
masking
better
it
on
kind of
medication.
way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now what happens is that there's an epidemic of people who are pre-diabetic because their numbers are always good because they are on the medication.
Yeah.
And when your numbers are good, you get this false sense that I am okay. And therefore you can do anything you want. You can go ahead and eat in all those things. You don't have to exercise. Your belly getting bigger. You realize that climbing stairs, you're feeling tired. All of those things happening. But you are seeing good numbers because you're taking medication and you feel that you're fine.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of us fall into that trap. There are signs on your body that tell you that you are diabetic long before the test confirms that you are diabetic. There are many people who are diabetic for 10, 15 years before it shows up. But the pharmaceutical industry will tell you, no, you're not diabetic until your blood sugar shows that. But by that time, it's too late.
Yeah.
You only see that your blood sugar is up when your organs are struggling to keep up with it.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't wait until they're starting to fail to act. You have to act before that.
Before, yeah.
And some of these symptoms of diabetes before your blood sugar go up is you're tired all the time. You're getting problems falling asleep. You're waking up because you cannot sleep straight through the night because you have to pee 3 and 4 times. You have skin tags. You have dark lines on your neck, dark marks under your eyes, dark marks inside your elbows, between your legs. Hyperpigmentation, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
You're tired all the time. You realize that you cannot climb stairs like you used to. You're gaining weight, your belly getting bigger. You're going to the gym, you're walking around the savannah, you're doing everything and your belly not going anywhere. All of those are symptoms of diabetes before your sugar go up. And you should not wait until your sugar go up because your organs struggling all this time.
Yeah.
And that is when you need to address it. Because the diabetic ward in all the hospitals in Trinidad and Tobago are filled with people who follow the instructions, who taking the pills on time,
In the
and they're still
diabetic
sick,
clinic for years.
and they're still losing the toe.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
don't ever get better, but you need to get better. The pharmaceutical industry's approach is that diabetes cannot be cured, it can only be managed. And as long as you are on medication, you're not going to get better. You have to get off of medication. And what we do at our diabetes lifestyle clinic is show you how to live and what to do. You make the right decisions about exercising and about eating so that you don't ever have to go on medication and don't ever have to be diabetic.
And you can come off.
And you can come off of it if you're already on it.
Yes.
We have also taken many patients who are already on insulin and get them off of insulin.
Get them off, yeah.
Because what I've also seen from the research as well as patient testimony is that there's a rush to put you on insulin. Anytime your blood sugar high, first thing they're telling you, you need to go on insulin. No, insulin and medication are supposed to be the last tools in your arsenal. You're supposed to make sure that the patient is exercising. Give them the right diet. And then the diet itself that we are giving here in the Caribbean and in the US as well, and I'm seeing they're following it.
Yes.
Because the way, as I said earlier, the approach is that the approach is to manage diabetes instead of cure it. And to manage it means that you can eat whatever you want. So they will tell you to eat bread and eat rice. And, you can have honey and you can have sugar, but make sure to take your medicine.
Yeah.
Now that makes no sense. So you're eating foods to send up your sugar and then you're taking medication to send it back down. Your body is confused.
Yeah.
Your body is overworked.
And the damage
And
being
it
done.
speeds up your demise. Because apart from having to deal with all the sugar you're eating, your body now have to deal with this medication that you're taking. And the medication now really puts a toll on your organs. So for example, the medication is supposed to bring down your blood pressure, right? High blood pressure damages the kidney. But the medication to bring down your pressure also damages the kidney. So what option do you have? The only third option is to do the right thing, eat the right foods, exercise, and get your body back on.
That food
And,
be a
and the
medicine.
interesting thing is that you don't need a whole set of exercise and go to the gym for 3 hours to do this, you know. It's a simple half an hour and taking care of yourself and doing the right things. Now, we don't have all the time to tell you all of the things that you need to do. But the plan is, as long as you are taking care of yourself and you're doing the right things, you're eating the right foods, your body takes care of itself.
Of itself.
The problem is nobody tells you what the right foods are.
Right.
And we should have been exposed to this, as I said before. You shouldn't have to be learning about this as a middle-aged man or woman. You should learn these things in school. What you're supposed
Home
to eat.
economics, eh?
Yes, home economics as well, and food and nutrition. But the next generation of diabetics are being grown because they're being told to have cereal.
Yeah.
To have cereal first thing in the morning.
And the
cereal
sad part is when you go to the supermarket, you have a whole row
Yes,
with all different types of the fructose and all the different types of things that
because
cause.
they have the big budgets to get in front of you.
Yeah.
And the foods that you really need to eat and need to be educated about, you don't have anybody advocating for them.
Exactly.
And that is what the main problem is.
But Dr. Neptune, tell me something. These days we hear a lot about insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance really?
Insulin resistance is one of the symptoms of diabetes. Now, over the years, when you have a high sugar diet, like what we have in the Caribbean, our culture throughout the whole region is a high sugar diet. Because, as I said before, it's part of our history. The food you given a slave to cut cane 18 hours a day is a high sugar diet. And it is quite related to your diet should be related to what you do. So the interesting thing is that marathon runners, for example, they are skinny, tall, slender people. Would you believe their diet is supposed to be a high carb diet and they are all skinny?
Yeah, because
the reason is because they are eating the foods to give them energy to do long distance running.
Right.
Now you cannot be eating like a marathon runner if after you eat what they eat, you go sit down behind a desk.
Yes. Yeah.
Now the diet that our forefathers used, they were cutting cane 18 hours a day. So every day they run in a marathon.
Yeah.
Now we are no longer slaves. We don't have to cut cane 18 hours a day. But what our forefathers did was hand down their diet to us. And we have to change our diet now to our lifestyle where we are sitting down behind a desk. You cannot eat the same foods that your forefathers was eating. You have to change it. And that is the main reason why we are diabetic today. Because we are still eating foods from the slave trade.
Yeah.
And the reason why the Caribbean has the highest rates of diabetes is because it is our legacy from slavery.
Yeah.
So, getting back to insulin resistance, if you see since you're a baby, since you're a child, you're eating this high sugar diet, your body now gets accustomed of this environment with high sugar. And your body now, the way insulin works, when you eat your food, your body releases insulin so that the sugar from your food is absorbed into your cells. Now, when you're eating a lot of sugar for 3 meals, your blood sugar stays high all the time. So your body has to be producing insulin. And your body uses the insulin now as a key to get the sugar into your cells. And your cells use the sugar as energy to do its normal operations.
Right.
However, when you eat more sugar than your body needs, the sugar has to go somewhere, it cannot stay in your blood.
Yeah.
So your body now releases more insulin to encourage your cells now to absorb the extra sugar and convert it into fat and store it away. Sugar doesn't leave your body. When you eat sugar and it gets into your blood, only 2 things your body can do with it. It can either use the energy or it stores it. And the more sugar you eat, the more there's left over to store. And that is how you gain weight and that's how you get fat.
Yeah.
So the objective then is, after a while, your body, you're eating so much sugar that there's no more space in your cells now to convert the sugar into fat and store it.
Right.
So even though you're producing more and more insulin, encouraging the cells to absorb it, they don't want to absorb it because they have already full.
It's resisting it.
It's resisting it, and that's where insulin resistance comes in.
Right.
And the blood and the sugar stays in your blood, and your blood sugar stays high.
Yeah.
A symptom of insulin resistance is high blood sugar, particularly immediately after a meal. It goes up very quickly. And when your insulin resistance is very, very high, even an ordinary meal, your blood sugar shoots up and past 200 and going. Your insulin resistance is high.
Yeah, because like you put in sugar on top of sugar
Yes.
inside it.
The only way to reverse insulin resistance is to eat less sugar. But instead of telling you you need to eat less sugar so that you get your blood sugar down, your doctor will look at you and say, we need to get more insulin into you.
Mm-hmm.
Because your body is not producing enough insulin to match your lifestyle. Instead of saying, fix your lifestyle so that your body could deal with what you're doing, they are telling you, and the pharmaceutical industry is telling you, go ahead, do whatever you want, continue.
Just put
This is
more.
what a normal lifestyle is. But we need to have more insulin into you. Now, if your body, after 20, 25 years, 30 years, running on that level of insulin production, it's going to damage your pancreas, the
Yeah.
major organ that produces insulin. It cannot run at a 300% for 30 years. It is going to start to fail. So insulin resistance is the combination of you eating too much sugar and forcing your pancreas to produce more insulin. And over time, it is unable to produce enough insulin. Plus, your cells don't want to accept all of that.
Yeah.
The combination of all those three things together results in insulin resistance, and you are getting sicker because that sugar stays in your blood. When it stays in your blood, it damages your brain cells. It damages your cells, your blood vessels in your foot and extremities, so that your ankles start to swell and your circulation starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
It damages your nerve cells as well,
Yeah.
so that you can start to feel numbness and neuropathic pains, peripheral neuropathy. That is pains in your extremes, your toes, under your feet, your fingers start to hurt because those nerve cells are being damaged by the high sugar.
Yeah, because the sugar remaining in the blood.
You're tired all the time because there's a lot of sugar in your blood, but not enough sugar inside of your
Cells.
muscles and your cells. So you're tired all the time. And the body now is in overdrive trying to get the sugar out. So what it does is get you thirsty. So that when you drink more water, the water goes into your blood to try to thin it out and dilute the sugar so your blood sugar goes down. But it's still the same amount of sugar is still inside of you. Now when you drink all of that water, the water has to go somewhere. So you start to feel bloated, your ankles start to hurt. Now after years of this cycle happening every day, it starts to affect your heart. And your heart is not as efficient as it was in the past. It damages your blood vessels and your arteries. So you get hardening of your arteries. And when your arteries are hardened now, they're not helping your body, your heart, to push blood around your body.
Right.
So your blood pressure goes up. Now that all of these cells are being damaged, your body now needs to start healing it. So in the process of healing, your body starts making inflammation. So your body now starts to hurt because inflammation is all over you. It starts making more cholesterol because cholesterol is needed to do the repairs in your body. And when you don't change your diet, the cholesterol now has to go somewhere. So it starts sticking in the inside of your arteries, clogging up your arteries.
Yeah.
It's a cascade of events that's happening internally and externally.
So is that why you find persons who are diabetic, they usually have things like hypertension, high cholesterol,
Yes.
arthritis,
Joint pains, all of that.
Yeah.
It's all of those, the same process in your body that causes diabetes, causes all of these issues as well.
So is it safe to say that excessive sugar causes you to have extra inflammation in your system?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's where
A high carb diet, a high sugar diet does the job, does that.
wow.
And there are a lot of people who are going into fad diets like the ketogenic diet, which is a low carb diet. But ketogenic will give you some relief, but it's not a long-term solution.
No, yeah.
So you still have to get the right advice, how to manage it, how to eat properly to keep you safe.
Tell us, is diabetic really reversible?
Yes, it is absolutely reversible, especially if you get it early. As I said before, diabetes is when you are eating more sugar than your body needs. And your body now is unable to keep up with it. Now, if you're being told that you're pre-diabetic, that is the time to act. If you are gaining weight, your belly is getting bigger and bigger, and nothing you do, you go to the gym for hours, you walk for hours, you're trying to lose weight for carnival, you're losing weight all over your body and your belly's still here, then that's the main symptom. That is the canary in the cave, in the coal mine, telling you that you will become diabetic within 5 years. And if you act on it then, it will never happen to you. The problem is that where you're getting advice from, if you follow influencers and people on Google, they're going to give you all kind of potions to take and potions to do this and potions to do that. But it's really a diet doing the damage.
I heard one this morning speaking about not eating. You don't have to lessen on your carbs. You just have to know how to eat it. Right? So you're eating certain things first, and then at the end of your meal, you can eat your carbs.
All of it is nonsense.
Yeah.
As long as the carbs are inside of you, it is going to go to your bloodstream, and it is going to do the damage. Now, one of the fallacies is that you need to focus on spikes.
Yeah.
Now, spikes are important because if your sugar spike, you're going to be dizzy, you're going to lose consciousness and all of those things. Yes. But the sugar is still inside of you. It may not spike. If you eat the food in different order, for example, you may not get a spike, but all the food and all the sugar is still going inside of your body. And it is going in at a slower rate, yes, and that's better than if it spikes. But the long-term prognosis is the same because your body still has to deal with all the sugar and you will still be gaining weight. And for example, the American Diabetic Association will give you a diet. If you follow the American Diabetic Association dietary guidelines, you will become diabetic. They're telling you to eat cereal, and they're telling you to eat honey. They're telling you to eat whole wheat bread. When you eat those foods, your sugar is going to be up, and it's going to be up all the time.
High carbs there.
It's not that carbs is the problem. It's that in our culture, we eat too much of it.
Too much. Yeah.
And our culture reinforces it so that it makes it even worse.
Yeah.
And you're being told that roti is life. You know?
But
and roti makes everybody happy. It does that.
Yes.
But you can't be too happy.
Yeah. You have to learn what to be happy with.
Yes. Yeah. You have to learn to control your enthusiasm.
It's so ironic, because when we get hampers to give out and stuff, persons donate. You have the big establishments donating hampers and stuff like that. When you check what is in the bag,
the diabetic food,
rice, flour, sugar, oil.
Yeah, it's to get you that. It's to get you sick.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that we are in a society where incomes are a lot lower, so everybody's looking to see how they can eat healthy while trying to preserve their health and trying to preserve their budget, make your budget stretch. But the interesting thing is that eating inexpensive foods doesn't necessarily bring down your grocery budget, because there's so little nutrition in rice that you have to eat so much rice to get the nutrition you need and to feel full.
And then all that turning into sugar in your system.
All of that turning into sugar in your system.
Overload.
Yes.
Wow.
And rice is just one example. There are many other foods. And when you're on our program, we give you the full list of foods that you need to stop eating and so.
Right.
But those are just the ones that are on the list. But there's so many other foods in our culture that putting us on a path to destruction. And we have to get a solution for that.
Yeah.
And it is not medication. Because medication gives you a false sense of security.
Yes.
You feel that you're safe because your numbers are good. You having good numbers doesn't mean that you're better. You could have good numbers for 5 years and you are seeing yourself falling apart. The diabetic ward throughout Trinidad and Tobago is filled with people who follow any rules and they're still losing their foot.
And eyesight and everything.
And your eyesight and glaucoma in particular, yes.
Yes. I know that for a fact.
And the stats is clear. There are nearly 350, it's estimated
Yeah.
350,000 people in Trinidad and Tobago is diabetic.
Yeah.
And many of those people are not even aware of it.
I went to Mount Hope about 2 weeks ago, and the doctor and I were speaking about diabetes, and he took me to the ward where they have diabetic patients, and it is horrible. It is like a war, casualties of war.
And
you
people
know?
missing body parts.
Yes, missing body
Literally.
parts. Yeah, and you have blindness. You have persons who have cancer because it started with diabetes. And so, what I want to ask you, I mean, of course, we want to help people to stay away from those wards, right? But what I want to ask you as well is, how does stress relate to diabetes?
That's a very good question. Because your blood sugar doesn't only go up if you eat sugar. Your body has a store of sugar in your tummy as well as in your liver. And when you are stressed out, your body is ready to fight or to flight. And it needs sugar to do that. So as long as you're stressed out for the whole week, your sugar high the whole week because your body waiting to either run or to fight.
Yeah.
And that could happen for a whole year. With those high sugar levels, it damages your brain, it damages your organs, it damages your heart, it gives you high blood pressure, the anxiety related to it, and it comes in many different ways. I've had patients who they're depressed and they want to cry and they don't know why. Their life is going the way they want to go, but I don't know why I'm sad. And if you go to a psychologist, they'll give you a medication to deal with it, but nobody checking your sugar. Nobody checking what is stressing you out, what you're eating, what you're doing for your lifestyle. If you're not going outside, if you're not walking, if you're not feeling nature, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to be depressed. And in the past where you could just strategically deal with somebody who's stressing you out and say, all right, pass them along and go along your way. Now somebody like that, when you are diabetic, you don't have patience for stupid people, you know.
Yeah. You don't have patience for nothing.
You don't have patience.
Yeah.
And impatience, anxiety, easily anger, all of those things are symptoms of diabetes. And everybody is waiting, for your blood sugar to go up to tell you that you're diabetic. When you've been diabetic all the time, because all the other 25 symptoms say that you're diabetic, but your blood sugar not high as yet. So they continue fooling you into a false sense of security that you're well, but you're not well. And they're waiting until you're sick to fix you. You need to fix you earlier than that.
I'm happy to ask you that question because, my clients, I deal with persons who are victims of narcissistic abuse, which is highly stress. And sometimes when I give them certain exercises and stuff to do, some of them, they can't cope, because during they think they have mood swings so I have to start checking them. I'll have to keep a monitor in my office now to check their sugar levels, So I'm happy to know, I'm happy that I would be able to supply them with this kind of information so they could start watching their diet as well.
And you had asked me earlier about the people who are most at risk. From our research, people who are subject to domestic abuse, because they use a lot of comfort food.
Yeah.
When they're in a situation where you turn this way or that way, you're under pressure, you want a piece of chocolate or you want a piece of cake or something. Yeah. So those people are highly at risk. Teachers are at risk because they're overworked and underpaid.
And they have so many different personalities that they have to deal with. Their stress levels, cortisol levels are extremely high.
Yes. Yeah. Police officers, prison officers, nurses, doctors. Those are the people at most at risk. Apart from poor people who can't afford to eat to buy the right food.
Yeah.
All of those things add together and make it, put them at most risk. And their risk come from stress. While other people's risk come from the food that they've been told to eat. And these foods, rice, flour, they're so intertwined into our culture that it is hard, very hard often for us to accept that we have to cut back on it.
That we have to, yeah.
That you have to cut back on
I
it.
remember I was in a bakery some years ago, and the two Indian girls, not being racial or anything, but culture, right? That was in Central, and they came into the bakery and they asked the price of a beef pie. And the price of a beef pie at that time, the girl said, no, I can get 2 burrata for my belly, and they walk back out. So it's a full belly thing. It's not nutrition. You see? So that's the culture. We need to get away from that way.
And it is correct, it's culture. And we need to be aware and build awareness. And I'm being very critical of the authorities here as well, because to me nothing solid is being done to build awareness. You're doing silly things like Get Fit Fridays and those kinds of things. It's just scratching the surface.
They have diabetic awareness, and when you go in there, they're giving you a set of sugary granola and show and all these things that are packed
with sugar.
With sugar. Yeah.
And the reason is because those products have those producers have the budget to get in front of your face.
Yes, exactly.
And how you market a product could make people believe that it is healthy for you. You know, and there's so many products on the market right now and food that everybody feels is healthy and it's not. For example, everybody thinks beetroot is healthy, and you go online and you see beetroot in this and beetroot in that. You've seen beetroot in everything, and in reality, beetroot has 3 to 5 times more sugar than potatoes. And there's so many other examples of the foods that we are being told is healthy.
Is beetroot genetically modified? Because there's a lot of vegetables on the market that we are told is healthy, and when you check it out, they modify it. So that's why you see.
And the carb content in it is higher.
Yes.
So, for example, people talk about Ezekiel bread.
Yeah.
For example, about all the traditional seeds and so on that they put in it.
Seeds,
right?
And grains,
and that's what Jesus ate in Jesus' time. The wheat we have today did not exist in Jesus' time. Half of those seeds that they put in it right now did not exist. The wheat that you see in the food basket of USA, the middle states that produce all the wheat. The wheat is so heavy with wheat and so high in carb content that it is heavy, and you have to pick it. You have to harvest it early. By a certain date, or else it starts to fall apart. The plant they started with wasn't so high and did not have so much production.
Yeah, because it took its time, and it went through the proper
of evolving into what it is now.
Exactly. But now they spray everything with chemicals to get it quick, because it's about the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. But doctor, without crossing you, tell me, would you say diabetes is a death sentence?
No, it's not a death sentence.
Okay.
It's not a death sentence anymore. In the past, when we did not know as much as we know now, it would have been a death sentence. And I lived in a village in San Fernando. I grew up in San Fernando. And I remember there were someone in the village who I now know to be diabetic, because she had swollen ankles and all these symptoms of it, right? And she did not know what to do to deal with her diabetes. In fact, I'm not even sure if she knew what diabetes was.
At the time.
In those days, they used to tell you have sugar, right? And you have sugar.
Yeah.
So therefore, you need to stop drinking soft drink and things.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so
Absolutely.
many other sources of sugar in your diet that they were not aware of.
Hmm.
So in those days, it was a death sentence because you did not have enough information about what to do to save it.
Yeah.
But now, the research is quite clear that diabetes is reversible.
Mm-hmm.
And many doctors and GPs who I work with tell me, no, I should not tell people that it's reversible. Because if they go back eating what they were eating before, they become diabetic again. But my argument to them is this. If you have a patient who is riding a bike, and he rides the bike off a cliff, and he broke his leg. Now, it would take you 6 months, put him in a cast, and he get his leg back, and everything is fine again.
Mm-hmm.
If he jump on a bike and ride on the cliff, wouldn't he break his leg again? So, you telling me it's not reversible, because if you ride a bike off the thing, you'll break your leg. That's essentially what they're telling me.
Yes, yes.
After you fix it and you reverse it, you cannot go back to doing the things to become diabetic again.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have, now that you've learned and you understand what a healthy diet is, that is what you need to follow.
Yeah.
And that is how you get the results you want.
Okay.
So diabetes is not a death sentence anymore.
Right.
And you do not have to be on medication for the rest of your life either.
Mm.
The pharmaceutical industry would like you to think that, but that is certainly not true. And even if you are on insulin, it is still reversible because we do it every day in our clinics.
Yeah.
It is reversible.
Yeah. Well, I am privy to that. I know that for sure. You know, I want to thank you so much for the information, and I know we will be here again next Wednesday.
Yes.
I do look forward, and I hope that persons out there will be sending your questions. I hope that you will be making contact and making your appointments, because we see about you, your health, your Caribbean lifestyle. We help you to manage it and to avoid the effects of eating too much
You
of
have
the wrong
questions out there?
things.
You have questions out there?
No, so far we have no questions.
Okay.
We just have about agreements.
Agreements.
Everybody's
We should also tell them the number that they can
Yes.
contact us by,
Yeah.
475-6950.
And our TikTok page too.
Our TikTok page is Wellness Health TT. And let me say and on Facebook as well, you can get us as National Wellness Centers. You can get us there. Let me repeat the telephone number. 868, I forgot to put the 868 in. 475-6950.
Yeah. You can always direct message right on the page there where you're following us as well.
And you can WhatsApp, certainly. You send us a WhatsApp message, we will answer your questions as well.
Well, I am Sue Barker. I am the founder of the Trinidad and Tobago Narcissistic Awareness and Healing Foundation. And I also have my private practice here at the National Wellness Centers, where I do the emotional healing part of this journey for you. So you can contact me through the page, and we will join you again. Hopefully you will join us next Wednesday around 5:30. You know Trinis, right? We say 5, we started at 5:30. And we thank you guys so much for coming in, and we look forward to seeing you again.
We had some teething problems as this is our first broadcast.
Yeah.
But we will have those issues rectified for next week. And we'll have a different topic as well related to diabetic care,
Caribbean lifestyle,
weight loss, all of those things.
Yes.
Because obesity is one of the earliest signs of diabetes.
Yeah.
And obesity is very rampant within our young people, and that is the precursor to becoming diabetic.
Exactly.
In our research, what we've realized is that obesity is a symptom of diabetes before your sugar goes up. So that is your body talking to you and telling you that you need to act and get this weight down. And
Yes.
we have a program, Eli Weight Loss Program, within our organization as well, that helps to deal with that. You deal with your weight early, you will never have to deal with diabetic in your future.
Exactly.
And that is even if your mother and father and your granny is diabetic.
Exactly.
It
Yes.
is not in your genes. It has nothing to do with your genes.
It's lifestyle.
It is your
It's
lifestyle. 90% your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And
So if you guys, you want to live a healthy life, really enjoy your life in a healthy manner, contact us. We look forward to chatting with you again next week, please God. So in the meantime, be safe, take care of yourself, because it's only one self you have. Ciao.
thank you. Until next week.